Welcome to the Postgame Show presented by Ricoh. I'm Molly Sullivan, joined by former Eagles great Ike Reese. Welcome. So the Eagles take away the victory 24-10 over Jacksonville. Of course, Cody Kessler. The Eagles announced that he is in the league's concussion protocol after that big hit 2.5 minutes into the game. When we think, Ike, about how quickly things can change in this league, you and I talked off camera, your initial thoughts, we hate to see Kess go down.
Yeah, great opportunity for Cody to go out there and show he belongs in this league. Have an opportunity to solidify the backup quarterback behind Carson Wentz while Nate Sudfeld heals from his broken wrist. It's unfortunate for Cody because I know he's looking forward to this opportunity tonight to go out there and show what he can do in this offense. To get injured early in this game and not be able to finish the game, you sort of feel bad for him. But that's what this game is like. You know, you never know when that opportunity is going to be taken away from you. And that's why coaches are constantly trying to stress to players, particularly the young players during this time of the year, don't let these opportunities pass you by, right? Because you never know when you're going to get another opportunity. So hopefully Cody clears concussion protocol and he's able to get back on the field as soon as possible because you certainly want to see a young man try to live out his dream. And if he is going to be released or not have the opportunity to be the backup guy, you want it to be because he was out there on the field and couldn't get the job done, not due to injury.
Right, and he's the son of a coach. He gets it. He's been in the gym since he was 6 months old. You hate to see it. We will hear from head coach Doug Peterson later in the show. If you're watching on Facebook, head down to the comments section. I hate to say that. That's always a dangerous section. But we've got Melissa Kelly, our producer, monitoring. So fire away if you've got questions for this guy. I am just the moderator here. But Ike, you are ready for those questions.
I am ready.
And you've got 3 takeaways. I know you've got more than 3, but you got to streamline them down. So what's your first takeaway here, Ike?
Well, I think coming into this game, we all wanted to see what Miles Sanders was going to do tonight, right? So I thought he, in his second game, showed flashes and why they drafted him in the second round. You look at Clayton Thorson. We just finished talking about Cody Kessler being knocked out of the game early. Well, this was an opportunity for Clayton Thorson to go out there and show what he can do at this level. And then you talk about Deshaun Hall. I mean, back-to-back games where Deshaun has made big plays, getting to the quarterback. I mean, he's making plays that's showing up on film. Can't help but notice him and at a position where we wanted to see someone step up and sort of solidify the backups behind Brandon Graham and Derek Barnett. Deshaun 2 weeks in a row have done a nice job. But when you go back to Miles, right, everyone's excited to see what Miles Sanders is going to do when he gets an opportunity to touch the football. And if you watch him tonight, in the limited touches, just 5 carries, 31 yards. You got a chance to see exactly why they drafted him, where they did, his ability to make guys miss, his ability to accelerate through the hole when he sees daylight. And then when you get him out in open space, you know that there's something special when the ball is in his hands. I can't wait till the regular season gets here because I know the coaches, Deuce can't wait to unleash Miles Sanders on this league.
He's a good guy to have in your corner, certainly. Going back to Clayton Thorson, you talk about poise under pressure. First quarter, 2 for 17 for 21 yards. He set the tone. I'm big on body language. It's all those years on the sideline, perhaps, but he looked comfortable out there, right?
Yeah, and I tell you, for a rookie to be thrown in when he wasn't really anticipating it, right? Because the coaches tell you to be ready because you never know when your number is going to be called. But I'm pretty sure Clayton, he got his first lesson in being in the NFL, albeit in the preseason, is that things can change in a drop of a hat. And he may have been prepared to go out there the second half of this game to get ready to play. No, your number is called in the first quarter. I believe the second series of the game, he was called out there. And I thought he handled it well. I mean, most young players, you may get him going out there and get a bunch of mistakes, turnovers, things of that nature. You had some miscommunication early, but he seemed to settle down and just started playing. I got a chance to watch Clayton when he was at Northwestern. Not many people have seen Northwestern football football games. But being a Big Ten guy myself, I watched the Big Ten. And so getting a chance to watch him play, you know that he has the ability to be a leader at that position out there. It's just a matter of what's his ceiling and will he be able to capitalize on the window when he's been given his chance. I thought today, young man did a nice job going out there considering he was thrown into the fire before he probably was ready to get out there.
Yeah, he hits Greg Ward for that 38-yard touchdown.
Nice throw.
Nice throw. Put the Eagles up 7-0. What's going through his mind? His first NFL touchdown. We talked about how he was comfortable, but he didn't really have a choice, right? You're kind of playing loose, playing free, letting the talent take over.
And I think that's what happened for him. Once he got the jitters out, the butterflies out, he's able to go out there and just play his game. And I think he's going to surprise some people with his athleticism, his ability to extend plays, get outside the pocket. He's not a pure pocket passer. I think in today's game, as a quarterback, you have to have some mobility to be able to extend plays. Clayton's able to do that. Right now, he's probably better off script than he is on script, and that's what it is with a lot of young players. Great step in the right direction for him, and he just needs to continue to build off of that. The more confidence, this is the most playing time he's going to get this year, hopefully. He won't see, once the regular season starts, he'll be over there holding a clipboard or dressed in a sweatsuit and active on Sundays. So he needs to take advantage of these preseason games, and he probably had more action tonight than he anticipated. By the time the night was over with and I looked at his numbers, I thought he did a nice job.
And going back to Greg Ward, that yards after catch, turning that into a 38-yard touchdown. Nice block by Josh Perkins as well. Just in terms of how good hands he's out there, you've seen him in practice. How has he progressed and his game developed?
Greg Ward, guy who was in training camp with us last year, managed to stick around. They liked some of the things he brought to the table. He's a very smart football player, played quarterback at the University of Houston, has been able to make the transition to wide receiver. And I think that's an advantage for him because he understands the offense. He understands where the quarterback likes to put the ball, and as a receiver, he's going to be able to go out there and use that to his advantage. Much better athlete than I think a lot of us anticipated. Ability to run after the catch. I like Greg Ward. And that receiver room is loaded with talent. And when you think about the top four guys, when you include J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, who also had a couple good catches tonight, he's a second-round pick. He's going to be here. So there are four guys with Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey, and Nelson Aguilar, you can almost count as being here. It'll all come down to whether or not the Eagles are going to keep 5 receivers or 6 receivers. So you're battling for those 1 or 2 spots left in that room. Greg Ward was here last year. He's a special teams player as well. I know the coaches like him. If he keeps making plays like he did tonight, it's going to be hard to let that player go.
Going back to Deshaun Hall, one of your takeaways, there was that sack celebration at the end of the first half. We were together watching the game, and because of the Jags' hurry-up offense, he had to sprint back to the line of scrimmage. You were shaking your head, so was Jim Schwartz. Break it down for us.
Young fella, you got to understand there's a time and a place for everything. And when the opposing team is in a hurry-up offense right before the half and you know the clock is running, it's great that you get a sack there, but you just got to keep in mind where you're at in the drive, where you're at heading into halftime, and know that there's no time for celebrating there. I'm pretty sure he'll be reminded of that. Nice job of getting back on sides and not costing his team a 5-yard penalty, but I'm pretty sure he was reminded to just stay in the game, and it's a place and time to celebrate, and that wasn't really the time to celebrate.
Yeah.
At least not that extensively.
Right. Fair enough. You learn now. You move on. That's what champions are made of, they say. He also did have a forced fumble early in the second quarter, second week in a row, easy for me to say, with a forced fumble, but showing some nice moves there as well.
I love the fact that, Hall and Sweat, these guys have been around the quarterback the last 2 weeks. 2 young guys, again, that Jim Schwartz is counting on to add depth to that defensive line. And both guys have shown flashes, and Deshaun Hall seems to have come up with the big plays, the sacks, the things that you can find in the box score. They show up there because, 3 or 4 sacks in 2 games, 2 forced fumbles. He's making a strong case not to only make this team, but to be a part of the game day rotation where I know this coaching staff is looking for young guys to step up and sort of solidify that. You don't go out and make a trade for the defense end like they did in the middle of the week unless you're trying to light a fire under everybody. And looks like Deshaun Hall and Josh Sweat have noticed, and they've gone out there and produced. I love what I've seen out of Hall the last 2 weeks. You know, albeit he's not going up against starting left tackle today, but I thought he did a nice job against Taylor Lewan last week. You know, you get these type of plays in the preseason. Coaches love this production. Yeah. And the limited reps that you're going to be out there, you have to produce.
They can trust him, right?
Yes.
He's proven that they can trust him.
Yeah, and as a player at this level, it's all about production, right? First of all, you got to know your assignments, know your responsibilities out there, and then it's about cutting it loose and producing. And this guy has been able to do that the last 2 weeks.
You played in 128 consecutive regular season games, which is unreal. Take me back to the '98 draft. And what's going through their minds in terms of you want to be durable, right? Carson Wentz telling us that it's been 7 months since he's had pizza.
How about that?
Extremely tough to a new level.
But 7 days for me.
Yeah, hey, fair enough. But what's going through their minds? They want to be known as durable, right? But you also have to take care of your body, your mind, whether you're a rookie or a vet.
Yeah, the thing in this league today is these players are very conscious of what they put in their body, and they're very health aware. You know, training in the offseason is much different than it was 20 years ago when I first came into the league. These guys put actual money into their offseason and making sure they're eating right, putting the right things in their body, making sure they're watching their weight. Their best way to get in shape is to stay in shape, never get out of shape. And it wasn't necessarily that way for the guys coming into the league 20 years ago. And that's a good thing for the players now. And it's great that the sooner you learn that, the better off you are. And the fact that Carson is going into his 4th year and he's realized this early in his career, you hope that's something that's going to benefit him moving forward.
Yeah, Sharif Miller, you got to talk about him. He showed some nice QB pressure, nice spin move there.
Got a sack tonight too, Yeah, Sharif Miller, another young guy that when you talk about adding depth to that defensive front, I'm not sure how much he's going to be able to contribute and how soon, but they drafted him in the 4th or 5th round for a reason because he's a productive player up there at Penn State, and it was nice to see him. Local kid too, right here in Philadelphia, grew up an Eagles fan, so you want to see him do well out there. The young guys, we got a lot of talent on that defensive line as far as guys being young, and they're just scratching the surface right now. They haven't even realized their full potential yet, and that includes Derek Barnett.
Yeah, well, you look at Schwartz, he likes that 4-man rotation at defensive end. Who gets that 4th spot? I mean, they're all fighting for it.
Yeah, I think right now it's still up in the air. You can obviously make a case for Deshaun Hall, the way that he's played in the preseason. And you can't judge everything by the preseason games.
Right.
These coaches have the benefit.
Body of work. We've heard Schwartz say it all week, body of work.
Coaches have the benefit of watching these guys in practice, watching them in other, controlled situations where they can see them in short yardage, goal line, 3rd and long, things of that nature. So I would say Hall is right there in the hunt, Josh Sweat, and Sharif Miller. I mean, I think between those 3 guys, it's going to be a tough choice. But that's what coaches want. They want you to make it tough on them. Don't make it easy on them. Make it tough for them to figure out which guys they're going to keep, because that means they're choosing between 3 guys that have the ability to do it. They just need to pick the right one. Or 2, for that matter.
Yeah.
Could be a 5th
fair enough.
guy.
Fair enough. I say 4th, but it could be 5. Listen, if you stay ready, you never have to get ready. So we're going to send it over to Merrill Reese and Mike Quick. How lucky are we that
they're always ready?
Yeah, they are always ready. Gentlemen, take it away with your best highlights of the game.
Shotgun, low snap. Back goes Thorsen. He pumps. He is going deep, and it is caught. Down at the 15, to the 10, to the 5, and running in for a touchdown is Greg Ward. Greg Ward made a beautiful move. Took the football, went high in the air, took it away, and then cut to his right and ran into the end zone. It is 3rd and 10. Minshew again in the gun. Slot to either side. Rawls in the backfield. Minshew straight back, hit as he fires, and the ball is loose. Do the Eagles have it? They do. Now, was his arm going forward or was it a fumble? The hit was Deshaun Hall, and the recovery by Nathan Gary, and they're saying a fumble. Gardner Minshew takes the snap. He backpedals. He steps up. He's hit. Eagles have him sacked back near midfield. And that one is Sharif Miller, the Nittany Lion.
Yep, Sharif Miller coming off one edge, and you've got Josh Sweat coming off the other edge, and they meet at the quarterback, and they get him to the ground.
Minshew takes the snap. Looks, he's being chased, and he's tripped up and sacked back at the 20. Give that one to Deshaun Hall.
Deshaun Hall once again getting into that backfield and causing problems.
First and goal from the 1. Under center is Thorsen. Does he give it to Adams? He does, and Adams leaps and on second effort walks in. Standing up. Josh Adams, touchdown.
Those big guys in the trenches just do the job of controlling the line of scrimmage, and Josh Adams pushing the pile, walking into the end zone.
Kick is good by a lot. It was a line drive, good by plenty.
Jake seems to be more comfortable with the longer kicks for whatever reason.
That would have been good from 60 yards.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that
the kid can hit it.
He can.
I don't know, Ike. Is this the preseason? It looks like midseason form to me. Here we are looking at the stats. What jumps out to you?
Well, I love the fact that they were able to run for 139 yards tonight. You know, you had 33 rushes, 139 yards. That's a good sign. We didn't run the ball.
And now we're going to send it back out to Jacksonville head coach Doug Peterson at the podium.
We'll evaluate Cody again tomorrow and over the weekend, but you know, we're going to get through the next few days. We're going to evaluate everything. Obviously, really excited for Clayton tonight. Obviously, getting a lot of time, but you know, we're just going to evaluate where we are and make a decision, you know, as we go.
Have you seen enough of Cody to know whether or not you feel comfortable going into the season with him as a backup?
You know, it's still early. Obviously, this is what the preseason's for, to give these guys some opportunity. We still got a couple of games left, and we're gonna do our due diligence to make sure that we see enough from everybody at every position to make educated decisions at the end.
In Clayton's case, what was different tonight?
I just think he just really calmed himself. Learned from last week, which was great to see. Steadied himself. You know, it's. I know the feeling coming off the bench like that. You know, as a backup guy, and he stepped in there and did a great job. Great job leading the team, managing the game, and you know, made some big time throws, and it was encouraging to see him.
Doug, how disheartening is it that you lose two quarterbacks in 2 games, both in the first half, and you know, you're trying to get them work, and you know, you're keeping Carson out and everything else to prevent things like this?
Well, you know, Carson's out of games. He's not out of practice, and we're practicing extremely hard with our starters right now in practice. So we're getting a lot of good work there. You know, it is kind of unique that 2 quarterbacks that I don't know if I've ever been a part of whether I played for the 14 years or coaching now, that we've lost 2 quarterbacks like this in preseason games. But you know, the beauty of it is we get them both back, and we'll evaluate, you know, Cody in the morning again, and still got a couple weeks of preseason to work out a lot of details, and again make those decisions at the end.
What was the plan tonight if something happened to Clayton?
Yeah, we had Greg Ward on standby. He was coached up and ready to go.
Doug, does this change anything with your approach now with Carson and the remaining, you know, let's say the 3rd preseason game, if you would like the 4th, but does this change anything at all in how you would handle Carson now?
No, you know, we're going to get some great work with Baltimore coming into town, you know, this next week, and you know, again, you know, the plan has always been to really push the starters in practice and make sure that they're prepared there. I really feel like practice is where you make it hard and challenging on our guys, and Carson and the starters on offense have done a great job embracing that, and we got another good opportunity this week. So, you know, we just take it day by day. I don't look to next Thursday. I don't even look to the opener. I mean, I'm looking to, you know, this weekend and getting ready for, you know, our practice on Sunday.
Clayton played all but the first 7 snaps. When did you plan for him to play tonight?
They were going to split the game, 2 quarters apiece.
On the play where Cody got hurt, was that Andre's responsibility, or was that
Yeah, they pressured there, and really it's unfortunate. Obviously, you'd like the quarterback to kind of see that and get to his quick throw. Just kind of held the ball a touch. We'll look at the tape. We'll evaluate it further, but yeah, it's one of those where we sent the protection one way, they blitzed the other way, and we were needed to get the ball out.
However it comes, do you need to start the practice group with 3 healthy quarterbacks?
No, because the way things change now, with our schedule change and everything, we can get by with the 2 guys. I mean, it does put a little more load on both of those guys, but until we can evaluate Cody further, we're not ruling him out obviously until we evaluate him.
Brandon Brooks had an appointment yesterday.
I haven't heard it. Obviously, I haven't had any updates yet on him.
Okay.
Probably hear that in the morning. All right. Thanks.
And that was head coach Doug Peterson at the podium. He, of course, told us that until they evaluate Cody Kessler further, there is no change in this quarterback situation. He is confident with the 2 in place. He did mention what we predicted. Greg Ward was on standby. Right. He was coached up. He, of course, played college ball along with Braxton Miller. So Greg Ward was on standby. Your thoughts from Doug's press conference?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's hard for Coach to really speak to the extent of Cody's injury because it's still fresh, and they certainly want to take their time and reevaluate everything and then make a judgment as for how to handle him moving forward. But I'm not surprised guys like Greg Ward, Braxton Miller, former quarterbacks in college, doesn't take a whole lot to get them on the sideline and basically say, turn around and hand the ball to the running back so we can get out of here. So it's one of those unfortunate situations that I guess it's hard to plan for, right? It's hard to plan for when you're in the preseason. These things can happen. But I thought Doug handled tonight the best he could. I thought he gave his players an opportunity to still go out there and be evaluated, right? Because when you get a young guy like Cody, I mean, not Cody, like Thorsen out there, and you don't know how much of the playbook he understands or knows. Now you're at risk of the players around him and their performance being hindered because he's a younger player and these guys are relying on him to give them an opportunity to make this team. And a coach can sometimes take that and water down the offense and call all basic plays like handing the ball off. And then you got receivers out there who don't necessarily get to take advantage of being out there on the field. So I love the fact that Doug, we know Coach Peterson, no matter who's out there at that quarterback position, once he's in that game, he's calling the game. He's in the flow of calling the game, and you had better be mentally prepared from, I've studied in the film room for everything that he's going to call that night. And I love that about Doug. He puts that pressure on his quarterbacks to know the entire game plan. And it looks like Cody Thorson did a great job of doing that tonight.
Yeah, and with that said,
Clayton Thorson, I keep calling
well,
him
hey,
Cody.
it's good balance. It's good balance. What can we say? We know what he's talking about. We are now going to transition to the unsung heroes, and case in point, a man that made quick decisions, put the ball where he needed to be. So take it away from Gary. Your man. Take it away.
I got him, Clayton Thorson. I thought he did a great job. Seriously, to have Cody Kessler go down as early as he did, Clayton Thorson being a rookie and being thrust into this situation, he could have very easily crumbled there. He could have very easily had a meltdown. He could have had all sorts of false starts, misaligned formations on offense. I've seen this type of stuff happen to young quarterbacks when they get thrown into the fire when they're not prepared. And I thought he settled himself down and started running the offense. 16 of 26. I think that's a very good percentage there for a young quarterback. 170, 180 yards, able to hit Greg Ward for a touchdown. Had the one interception out there, but for the most part, I thought he conducted himself very well for a 5th-round draft pick, really getting his first extensive action.
Yeah, and with that said, the rookie, which is me, the rookie and the vet, see what I did there. Miles Sanders was my unsung hero. Got the start at running back. He really brought the juice. First play of the game, 12-yard rushes. We saw him bounce it to the outside. The kid can play. Don't tell me that Big Ten background doesn't help him in the spotlight. You got 107,000 at Beaver Stadium. You got the big house, Sparty on line one.
Yeah.
But just having that background had to prepare him for this moment because he really shined when he needed to.
Yeah, I love his demeanor. He just wants more. You could tell last week he was chomping at the bit. He got a little taste, 3 carries. He only had 3 yards last week. He wanted to touch the ball a little bit more. Got a chance to do that tonight. 5 touches, 31 yards. This kid, when the game slows down for him, and he's able to just allow his raw, natural ability to take over, I really do believe he's the best back. He has the potential to be the best back we've had here since Shady left. I really do. And Shady is arguably one of the best back that's played here. He's an all-time leading rusher in franchise history. We just haven't had that game breaker, explosive player. We've been able to do it by committee. Don't get me wrong. We've had some good backs here by committee, but to have a feature back, he won't be that this year. But when this guy reaches his potential, that's what he is. He has that ability to be an every down back, first, second, and third.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah.
We should note Miles Sanders, Jordan Howard, first half combined for 9 carries for 41 yards in that alone. So they really set the tone here. And after this quick timeout, we've got more. You've got questions. We've got answers. We're going to have our biggest play of the game and everything else you could think of. We'll see you after this break. Welcome back to the Postgame Show presented by Ricoh. Molly Sullivan alongside the Ike Reese. We are going to transition into the play.
You can't even use "the" anymore.
Why not?
Never mind.
Oh, boy. Okay, to be continued. Listen, play of the game. We both have the same play, so really spicing it up here. Break it all down for us.
Yeah, we're talking about Clayton Thorson's touchdown pass to Greg Ward. I mean, and what a play it was for the young fella, able to get the ball out there to Greg Ward. Greg Ward's been making plays out in practice and training camp all summer long. You've been able to hear the buzz about Greg Ward in his second year. Really a versatile player, able to get in the end zone for Clayton Thorson. I wonder, did Clayton keep the ball? Did he keep that pass, that touchdown?
Well, let's hope so. Yeah, that's a welcome to,
it counts.
Welcome to the NFL.
Even though it's the preseason, it still counts as his first touchdown pass in the NFL. Nice job there by Clayton Thorson and Greg Ward getting that ball in the end zone.
I agree. The Eagles Insider. Everybody is the around here. We've got a good crew. Charles Johnson, of course, got the start at wide receiver, but we did see Matt Collins, fellow Tar Heel, get some game action, which we love to see because he's often the first guy on the field, last one to leave. He's really persevered through some injuries. So Dave Spadaro went one-on-one with Matt Collins. Take it away, Dave.
Matt Collins being back on the field tonight, what did it mean to you?
It means a lot. It's a long journey. Obviously, it's been a little while since I've been back out here. But it was awesome to be out with my teammates, running around, feeling good.
Didn't look like there was any rush. You went right down there and made a bunch of plays on special teams.
Yeah, there can't be a drop-off. That's the part of this business, you know. I had a year off, but I can't make excuses for not making plays. I got to be right back like everybody else.
And you're feeling good?
Yeah, I feel great.
Matt Collins, thanks so much.
Appreciate it.
And Mac rocking the new number, which I love to see. He said, listen, I can step away. I got the Super Bowl with it.
Sure.
I'm going to go make some new memories. We love to see him out here. More from Matt Collins. Quick timeout. All right, we'll see you on the other side of this break. Postgame Show presented by Ricoh. Welcome back to the Postgame Show presented by Ricoh. Thanks for hanging with us as we take a look now at the remaining preseason schedule. We've got your former coach coming to town next week, Ike.
Yeah, excited about that, joint practices. So I'll get a chance to see my old coach, John Harbaugh, come up here, and should be some good work for the squads. The joint practices are really starting to be a big thing in the NFL.
Yeah, and the broad stroke here, your birthday week, Eagles at Dallas, October 20th. So put that on the radar too. I know we're talking preseason, but just get on that on the radar.
And then the final one against the Jets, that's the annual final preseason game.
Yes. Yes, it is.
The fourth preseason game against the Jets.
Yes,
That'll
yes.
be exciting. But next week will be the final real dress rehearsal.
Right.
For a lot of the guys. And it'll be interesting to see what Coach does next week. I don't know if he's going to play anybody as far as the starters, because like I said, these guys, Baltimore will be up here for the joint practice, and they're starting to get a lot more work done in the practices as opposed to being out there on the field. So it'll be interesting to see what Coach does. Yeah, so Baltimore here at the NovaCare Complex Monday and Tuesday. We, of course, will bring you everything. However, they also do practice on Sunday. So Eagles 360 is back. I'll be hosting that daily show, so we have you covered. Thanks so much for hanging with us tonight. The Eagles walk away with a win on preseason game 2. Of course, we hope for the best with Cody Kessler. We will keep you posted here at PhiladelphiaEagles.com. Ike Reese, Molly Sullivan, our amazing team. Peter Kelly's birthday. How about that? Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Peter. We'll see you next time.